Hello and welcome to Cooking the Books with Heather. Today I'm going to be working from the first Outlander kitchen cookbook, Teresa Carle-Sanders' Outlander cookbooks. I think she has two now. This is the first one. And I'm going to be making dumplings in Cross Creek. So I was looking for something to do with the brown chicken stock that we made from the same book. Probably saw that right before this one. We'll see. I'll link that up here. And I didn't like the looks of, I just didn't have the things that I needed for some of the recipes. But this is a dumpling that you can serve on top of basically any soup you want. It's cooked on top of the soup. So it's a, as my husband would say, it is a Yankee dumpling because that's not the kind of dumplings and chicken and dumplings that he's used to. But so I've already made some chicken pot pie sort of soup, just standard chicken, vegetables, chicken stock. I use the brown chicken broth, brown chicken stock, I think it's called, or hot broth at Castle-Leoch is the other name. And that's done waiting. It basically should be done when you make these because these are not going to take very long. I have in my bowl already measured out all-purpose flour and whole wheat flour, basically 1-to-1. We're going to add a few things to that. I'm going to add some kosher salt and some baking powder for lift. These will make them hopefully light. I'm a little concerned about the whole wheat flour being, a little stodgy, but we'll see. And the only other things I need to add to this is, need to add some herbs. I have some chopped fresh parsley. I think I have a little bit more here than the recipe calls for, but not a whole lot. And I think I have a little bit less than the recipe calls for of these chopped fresh chives, but that's all the grocery store had. So, and I have been not successful in growing chives at all here. I'm going to try again. So now we're going to mix these up. I'm going to use a whisk just to get out any lumps and get everything mixed together well. And I've got 2 ingredients in the refrigerator because the butter you definitely want to be cold. So I'm going to go get the butter first. Actually, I'll get both of them while I'm there. But we're going to grate the butter into here. So let me go get that. I'm not going to use this whole thing, but I'm just going to sort of estimate half of it, but keep it whole because that's going to make it easier for me to grate. So I'll have something to hold on to. This is why you want it cold, because otherwise it's not going to grate very well. It's about half. Not bad. So now that I've done that, I'm going to use some of the flour to get all of that off without sticking too much. I'm going to work this in with my hands until it's well blended and it looks the color of cornmeal. I don't know. I'm going to get a spatula and clean up my work surface a little bit because I don't need all this stuff over here. So now all I have to do is stir in some whole milk. I'm just going to put all of this in here because she doesn't say not to. And it's supposed to be sort of a sticky, a loose, soft dough. So hopefully that is what we will get. Now she says you can make this vegan by substituting cold coconut oil for the butter and probably any alternative milk of your choice that is not sweetened, but she suggests almond or rice beverage, rice milk for the milk. So I think that's pretty well mixed, and that is it for here. Now we just need to put this on our soup. So she suggests that you hand form these into balls. They're supposed to be 12, about the size of a golf ball. I'm going to use a scooper because that's just easier. So we're going to move over to the stove so we can scoop this into our soup. Onto our soup, not in. It's supposed to kind of float on top. Hopefully that will work. Our soup is supposed to be gently bubbling. I think it is. For me, I've got it on sort of a medium-low heat, and I'm going to plop these out. They're not really floating, but I guess we shall see. The last one, it looks like I got about 9 instead of 12, so mine might be a little larger than intended. But we're going to cover this and let it cook for 15 minutes, maybe 20 or so. She says the bottoms should not be doughy. So hopefully they'll be all done in about 15 minutes, and we'll see you then. So I looked at them at 15 minutes, decided they needed about another 5 minutes. And so now we're going to test and make sure that they are in fact done. I think they are. So I'm just going to take just one out, and we're going to cut it open. Yeah, it's definitely done inside. It's not doughy inside. They always look a little bit doughy, in my opinion, these kind of dumplings. But it's done, or at least it looks done. It's very hot. It is done. It is seasoned nicely. The soup will definitely help with, a little bit of more flavor. But the dumplings themselves are salted well. They have the herb flavor in there. They are a little stodgy, a little bit less light than they would be because they do have the whole wheat flour in them, but makes them a little more healthy, right? So I think I'm going to see how my family likes it, and we will let you know in just a minute. On this episode of Cooking the Books with Heather, you watched me make Dumplings in Cross Creek from Teresa Carle-Sanders' first Outlander kitchen cookbook. I thought these were pretty easy to make. They ended up a little denser than the usual puffy dumplings that I've had previously, but that's because they are basically half whole wheat flour, so maybe a little more healthful, depending, more whole grains rather than the refined flour, but that's up to, your particular health goals, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing for you. I liked the herbs in them. They cooked up in about the right amount of time, and I think they were a delicious addition to the chicken soup that I made using the brown chicken stock that we also made from this book. Wasn't part of this recipe, and she suggests serving it either on vegetable stew, which is in this book, or kakaliki, which we have made from this book previously. I'll link those here and at the end and stuff. But I think either way, any of those would be a great soup. If you have a gray, cool day and you're looking for some comforting soup with some fluffy dumplings, this is a great recipe. If you've tried it, Leave me a message in the comments down below and tell me what you thought. If you've enjoyed watching me make this, please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and come back and watch me make something else next week.